Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel if you are new here, and I like to yap about books, so that's what we are going to be doing in today's video. This is a reading vlog. This is all the new releases that I plan on reading. Not all of them, but the ones that I plan on reading in this video, and maybe we could make this a fun little series. So I have 3 books on my radar right now that I will be reading, and I actually started one yesterday when I started this vlog, so you'll see an outfit change because that was yesterday, but this is the intro. So I'm reading Dear Debbie by Frieda McFadden. I got an advanced reader's copy. This does not come out until the 27th of January, so I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, but I'm pretty sure it's before it's released, so I can't really give any details. I don't want to give any spoilers because it's not out yet, you know, I don't like to spoil stuff for people, so I'm trying to not say anything about that book though because it's not been released. I want to read Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry. This one came out at the end of December, so I'm planning on reading this one. And then I have a thriller, which is Best Offer Wins, and it's a thriller about buying a house, which sounds so interesting. This actually came out at the end of November, I believe. So still pretty new, not like the newest release, but still fairly new. So I will be reading these books in this vlog. And like I said, I've already started the vlog yesterday, and I'm about 50% of the way into Dear Debbie, but I'll leave that update for future Rachel because past Rachel already updated. It's crazy. Just go with it. Just go with it. So let's just jump right in and get started with the book reading. This will probably take place over the period of like a week because it's 3 books. So it might take me a little bit of time, but let's just hop right into it. It is time to start the first book in this reading vlog. I'm going to be reading a very fun book for my first new release book. This book is not even out yet. I have an advanced copy and I'm so excited and so grateful. So I wanted to read this one first. I've had it for like a month and I have not gotten to reading it because I had other things that I needed to read and whatever, but it is Dear Debbie by Frieda McFadden. I'm very excited. I love reading Frieda McFadden books. They're just super quick and easy and fun, and I just have a good time with them, so hopefully this is gonna be good. So I'm just gonna dive into this and read for a little bit. I don't know, normally I like to sit and read Frieda McFadden books like all in one sitting, but I have been doing a lot of work and I'm currently in charge of the phones for my parents' business, so I don't think I'll be able to read this whole thing today just because I will get interrupted with phone calls and doing stuff like that. But I do have a little bit of time in between that I can read, so I'm gonna start it today. Alright, you guys, so I have been trying to read while also answering a business phone, but I have made it 11% of the way through. I'm on chapter 5. So far, it's fine. It's not like a normal Frieda book where I'm instantly hooked. This one, I'm still having fun with it, but I'm not like instantly hooked yet. So, and normally by now I would be. By chapter 5, I'd be like, oh, I need to know what's gonna happen. So I think this is one of her, I think she has like 2 or 3 like formatting styles is what I've heard like people say, though I feel like all of her books are very, very different, but people say she has like the same copy and paste format, and I don't feel like I see that in books, but I feel like this one is just the one of like, it's a little bit slower to get into. Normally, I feel like her books really start out with this crazy thing happened. It's like, what do they call that in books where it's like, it's the, oh my gosh, what is it called? The prologue, the whatever, and it's like something that actually happens like towards the end of the book, but you get like a little preview at the beginning where it's like, this happened and I had to move the body here, and you're like, who did it and who are you and what is happening? So you're immediately like hooked. This book does not have that, so I think that's why there's like nothing where I'm like, who did it, what happened. It's Frieda though, so you know that will be coming in the video. It's just, it didn't start that way. It didn't start all like mysterious where it hooks you in. I wish I could like do more clips of like showing you guys me reading, but I don't want to give anything away since this isn't out yet. And I think my goal is to publish this video before this actually officially releases, so I don't want to like share too much, you know? Like I want to vlog about it, but I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give spoilers away because this book is not out yet. And I also just try in my reading vlogs to not give spoilers because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Those are just kind of my thoughts. It's not instantly grabbing me yet, but I'm sure as we get further into it, it will grab my attention. Basically, what I know right now, what I can talk about, because I'm pretty sure it's in the description on Goodreads. Maybe I could just read you the description on Goodreads and we can like chat about it, because I feel like I can do that because it's obviously on Goodreads. Dear Debbie, it's this woman who does this advice column in her local newspaper. Her life starts to spiral out of control. This says she loses her job. That hasn't happened yet. Something strange is happening with her kids, and her husband is keeping secrets, and she is just done. She's just done. She's had it. It's time to pay back people in her life who deserve it the most. So it's basically like a whole revenge thing. All of that's in Goodreads. You can look that at Goodreads. Like that, I don't feel like is really giving too much away other than the fact she loses her job. I feel like that's kind of a spoiler, but like I said, I was reading it directly from Goodreads. So I'm just gonna keep reading this. It is almost 4 o'clock and I have a little bit more time before James comes home that I can read and just chill. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue reading and we will catch up from there. It is the next day, but I did film the intro with this, so if you're confused about that, I just filmed the intro today. Sometimes my life is crazy and I have to film things out of order a little bit, so there's your little YouTube magic, I guess. So today's update, I'm gonna sit down and read more of Dear Debbie. This is actually I feel like this is very different than a normal Frieda McFadden book, so I'm interested to see. It feels like Frieda's laying everything right out in front of you, and like you already know, but like you probably don't know because it's Frieda. But at the same time, like stuff just seems very, very obvious in this book, whereas I feel like sometimes it's obvious in her other books, but this one is just so like, this is the character, you know what I mean? I am 51% of the way through. My goal is to finish this today just so I can get started on my next book. I feel like I'm a little behind on my reading because my workload has been a lot more this week and will continue to be for the month of January. My goal is to finish this book today so we can start on something else tomorrow. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm having fun with it. I don't think it's bad, but I am interested to see where this goes because it's definitely different, I feel like, than her other books. I could totally be wrong on that, but I feel like it's different than her other books. The closest thing I can compare this to is I feel kind of the same way I did about The Tenant, even though there was a big twist in The Tenant, but this just feels like there's not really a big twist yet, so I'll report back. I don't want to give too much away because this book isn't out yet, but I will report back my final thoughts. But I'm 50% of the way through, so let's just keep reading. A little update, I'm 90% of the way through. There's a twist happening and I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening? I don't know what that's about. So far, I feel like this book hasn't been that twisty, but in classic Frieda fashion, it's like you've been led to think one thing and something else is happening. I didn't think that it was gonna be this way. Like, I really the whole time was just like, well, she's just laid it all right out there for you. Frieda does it again. Frieda, why do you do this to us? Actually, we love it, but like, what just happened? All right, gotta go see what's going on. All right, I finished Dear Debbie. What I will say about it, I don't want to spoil anything. I feel like it was very different from her other books, just the twist in the format and whatever. I feel like it wasn't as like suspenseful as like some of her other books, but I still thought it was good. I still gave it 4 stars. I still had a good time with it. Quick and easy read. It was fine, but it's not my favorite Frieda book by any means. It comes out on January 27th if you guys are interested, and it will be, I believe it'll be on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle, you can get it on Kindle Unlimited. So next up, I'm going to be reading Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry. I believe this is a romantic suspense is what I've heard, or maybe it's just a romance, I don't know, but it'll be like a different vibe than a thriller because my next book that I want to read is also a thriller and I just read a thriller, so this will kind of be a nice switch up from that. So yeah, this is what we're going to read next. It is the book club book for the month. I am part of Delaney Smith's online book club, Patreon book club, and this is the book that we're reading this month. So I'm going to read this. I'll probably start it later tonight, honestly. I'm kind of tired of reading, but I'm also trying to finish an audiobook, so I want to like do some cleaning, do some things, because I've literally been sitting here reading and doing work, like alternating between the two. So I'm kind of ready to like get up and actually move around. So I'm gonna listen to my audiobook, which is not part of this video, but then we will come back and read that book and I will talk about it and share my thoughts as I'm reading it. All right, it is the second day in this reading vlog. No, third day in this reading vlog. And I did in fact start Bluebird Gold last night. I'm only on chapter 2, 7% of the way through, but it seems like it's gonna be good. Like I'm interested so far, so that is good. Other than that, I don't really have any thoughts. The first chapter was really just introducing us to our character, our female main character, and like her situation. And I don't know what the back of the book says, so I don't know what I can say that wouldn't be spoilers. But basically she's had this situation happen where she's had to go back to like her hometown and deal with some stuff. So that's what she's doing. And then you find out she has like this really good friend, and the timing never has worked out for them. So that's kind of as much as I want to give you in the first show. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. But so far I am interested. I want to see what happens. I feel like the first chapter was pretty long, but it could just be me. It could just be me. But it was like 16 pages, which I feel like is really long. And like this chapter is saying it's going to take me 14 minutes to read. So longer chapters, which is not my favorite, but we will push through. I think I'm going to take you guys over there to my couch, my favorite reading spot, and try to read a little bit. So that's the deal. But that's, so far, those are my thoughts. I'm enjoying it. We will see where this goes. The only other Devney Perry book that I've read is Shield of Sparrows, which I really enjoyed, but it was also a romantasy, and this, I believe, is a romantic suspense. I've never read a romantic suspense, so this is new for me. I'm gonna go read, and I'll update you guys when I have more thoughts on this. So it is now Monday. I have taken a couple of days off from filming, but I have been reading. I've still been doing my job, okay? But I didn't film over the weekend. Honestly, I didn't feel like there was really a good reading update for the weekend. I did read, but not as much as I would have liked to. So let's just get into it. I am currently, hang on, gotta wait for my Kindle to wake up. It's Monday morning, you know? It's a Monday. I'm currently 51% of the way through Bluebird Gold. I'm on chapter 15. Right now, I am enjoying it, but it's not a book that I'm like dying to pick up. You know what I mean? It's not a book that I'm like, I can't put down, I have to know what's gonna happen. At the beginning of the book, there was like a little bit more mystery to it, and now there's still a mystery, but they've kind of moved into like the romance part of the book. And I just don't feel like these characters, it's not that they don't have chemistry, I just don't feel like it's been set up in a way where I'm like, oh my goodness, like they're meant to be, it's believable, you know what I mean? Right now it's just not believable to me, and it's already like escalated pretty quickly into more than just friends. So that part I'm not loving as much, though we're only 50% of the way through. Maybe I will feel it, but right now I just kind of feel like it wasn't set up for me to believe that these two characters have like actual feelings versus just an attraction, you know what I mean? So again, that could change. We still have 50% of the book to go through, but they've also been kind of focused on not really building that up, but like the last couple chapters have just been like their interactions, and there's like this whole mystery thing going on, and I'm like, could we get back to that? And so I don't know, this is my first romantic suspense novel, so I don't know, maybe they're all like this. I don't know, there was a moment that between the two characters that I was reading last night in the last chapter where I was just like, it doesn't feel believable to me. It doesn't feel believable. And I like when books, the romance feels believable. I feel like the characters have chemistry, and I just don't feel that with this book really right now at this point. Again, things could change. So at this point, it's not a bad book. I am enjoying it. I'm having fun with it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my goodness, like the minute that I can open my Kindle and read it, I want to. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't know how much I've really shared about this book. I don't even know what the back of the book says, so I don't want to like give any spoilers, but let me see what Goodreads says, because I feel like that's safe. I can just read what Goodreads says about it, and then I know I'm not like giving spoilers away. But it does say like the one main thing that I was like scared to talk about. So basically we are following, I believe her name is like Ilsa. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know. Ilsa, and Cozy is our like male main character. And Ilsa, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I feel bad. I'm like, oh, am I pronouncing that right? Anyway, she has moved back to Montana because her father has passed away, and she has to take care of like his cabin and get it ready to sell and whatever. So she moves back to this small town that she moved away from when she was a kid because her parents separated. She went to live with her mom, and she like hated going back there, and she had a very estranged relationship with her father. So when he passed away and left all this for her to deal with. She goes back to Montana, to this small little town, and she is currently there working on getting everything ready. And some mysterious stuff starts happening, some like kind of creepy stuff that puts her on edge, where she keeps calling the cops. So she meets the sheriff in town, which is Cozy, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I think it's like Italian, but I'm not sure. Could totally be wrong. Don't take my word for it. Anyway, so she meets him and they kind of start to form this bond while trying to figure out what is going on and the mysterious stuff. And it kind of seems like her father's death may not have been accidental, but we're not sure yet. So there's a lot going on in this book, and like I'm still interested. I still want to finish the book. I want to know what's happening, but at the same time, like the romance part of it just doesn't feel as realistic to me. And so I'm kind of like, can we get back to the mystery? I think it's hard. Like if I'm reading a romance book, I want the romance, right? But if I'm reading like a mystery or there's something going on where I'm like, what is happening? I want more of that. And I think obviously it's a romantic suspense, so it's got to balance both things, but I think I'm just wanting more of the mystery. I'm like, that is what's interesting to me and not their relationship. And that's probably a me problem, honestly. But I just am like, I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's going on. And then we have to like have this romance moment. So that's probably my bad, because I've never read a romantic suspense book, so I probably just went into it with like different expectations, and that's me. That's my bad. So anyway, I'm going to continue to read this book today. I'm hoping that I can get a large chunk of it done today, if not everything. Like I'd like to just finish it because I feel so far behind on my January TBR, and I'd also really like to start Best Offer Wins, but I currently have 2 books going already because I'm listening to Queen of Shadows. Yeah, I think that's the one on audio, not for this vlog, but I am listening to it, so I don't want to have too many books going at one time, so I'm not going to start this until I finish this book, but I'm excited to start this one as well. I've heard really good things, and this one's pretty short. It's like under 300 pages, so I should be able to get this going real quick. But yeah, that's the reading update so far, and I will check back in probably when I finish this book. Honestly, I don't really feel like I need to like update every little thing. I'm not hating it, but I'm not obsessed with it either. So it is Wednesday now, and I finished Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry. It was not my favorite. It was not my favorite. I liked certain parts of it, but I felt like the romance just felt very forced, and I didn't love that. I did not like our male main character at all. He went from being protective to being like crossing the line and being possessive, and like it's a no-go for me. I didn't really love that, but that's my opinion. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. I did enjoy the mystery suspense part of the novel, but I did not enjoy the romance at all. Like really, I was not cheering for these 2 people at all. Normally in romance books, I'm like, yes, I'm cheering for this. They have to be together. And in this book, I was like, yeah, they don't have to be together. We don't have to go there. I did give it 3 stars. It wasn't bad. It's just not something that I would probably ever read again. And if it's part of a series, I probably wouldn't finish the series because I just didn't love it like I wanted to. I really wanted to love it, but I just didn't. I just didn't. So next up, I actually have added a book to this vlog. So hopefully I can get these read and get this vlog up by next week. I'm a little bit stressed about that because I wanted it to go up within the month of January. But Colleen Hoover just released a new book, and I've only ever read one of her books. I read Verity, and I did enjoy that one. So this one is another type of mystery suspense thriller book, and I wanted to read it because it just released, at the time I'm filming this clip, it released yesterday. So it is on Kindle Unlimited. It's also available as an audio on Kindle Unlimited. So definitely think I can get through this. I've heard really good things about it. So my plan is to read that, and then I also want to read Best Offer Wins. That's where we're at. I finished Dear Debbie, I finished Bluebird Gold, and now I want to work on Woman Down by Colleen Hoover and Best Offer Wins by, I can't think of the author's name right now, but those are the 2 books I want to finish for this reading vlog. So let's go get cozy on the couch. We've got our tea. Let's do some reading. Friday. I don't remember when I filmed last. These reading vlogs are a little complicated because I have to make time for reading throughout the day, but I'm also just really busy right now. So I don't remember the last I think the last thing I was talking about was starting the new Colleen Hoover book. You guys, this book is insane. I'm actually really, really loving it. I am 46% of the way through it. When I tell you all I want to do is read this book today, I do not want to do any work. It is so good. It's got like the creepy thriller vibes, and I've heard people describe it as like a dark romance. I have never read a dark romance, so I guess this is what I would imagine a dark romance being, kind of like giving off little vibes of that. I don't know, because that is not my genre of choice, but this book is so good. This book is so good. I'm really enjoying it. Now I will say, I've seen a lot of people say that the first 50% is very slow. I didn't feel like it was slow personally. Like, I feel like it kind of grabbed my attention pretty quickly, but I can also understand if you are reading it, if you're going into it thinking this is like a thriller, like Verity. I could see where it would feel slow. Even though I knew it was a thriller, I still went into it with like, it's got minimal thriller vibes to it, because that's what I was hearing people talk about. But you guys, I'm not even 50% yet, and I'm like, holy crap, what is happening? The last couple of chapters, it's just like some really crazy stuff is happening. And you know, whenever you're like yelling at a character and you're like, why are you doing this? This is a dumb choice. That's what's happening. Throughout this book, I'm just like, why are you doing this? This is really stupid. This is gonna come back to bite you. And it sure is. I don't want to give spoilers away. I will say, if you enjoy Colleen Hoover, this is only the second book I've read from her, but if you enjoy her writing style, this is really good. If you enjoy thrillers, this is good. If you enjoy that hint of dark romance, I would say that that's definitely in there. There's some really, yeah, I don't want to give too much away. And like I said, I'm only like at the very beginning of like all the craziness happening. So it may get really dark, romancy kind of thing in here. I don't know. Again, personally, I just don't read dark romance. I do appreciate that this has like that element of thriller to it, or else I don't think I would be interested in it. But it definitely has a thriller, like you feel on edge the entire time. Even when there's nothing like creepy happening, you still feel on edge because you know it's coming. Like it has that vibe to it. And yes, I love it. Yes. So this is the cover of it. I wish I had like a color Kindle, because there's like a human face right there. I don't know if you guys can really see it. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Anyway, it is really good. And I think I mentioned what it's about, but it's basically this author, one of her books becomes a movie, and all of her fans are mad because there was stuff changed, as happens when books become movies, stuff gets changed or whatever. But her fans are really angry about it, so she's kind of at this professional low in her career, and she has gone off to this creepy cabin away from everybody else to do like a writing retreat so she can write her new book. And it's starting to be like life intimidating art situation. It's so good though. It's so good. I'm enjoying it so much, more than I thought that I would. It's just gonna have me on the edge of my seat. This is a really good one. I can see it getting 4 or 5 stars, and we're not even 50% of the way in yet. So that's my reading update. Unfortunately, I can't just sit and read all day. I do have to work. So I'm gonna do my work, and then hopefully I can read a little bit more before we have company over tonight. But that's the update. That's the update. I'm really enjoying this book. I honestly think that I'm gonna need to buy the physical copy so I can add it to my bookshelf. Isn't it so funny how, like, if there's a book on Kindle, I'm like, okay, let me just get that. Even if I have it on my TBR shelf, if it's on Kindle, I'm gonna get it on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not gonna pay for 2 copies of it, but I'm gonna get it on Kindle Unlimited, and then I'm gonna read it on my Kindle and not in the actual book, and then I'm gonna move the book to the red shelf as like a trophy, you know? But I feel like a lot of readers do that. So let me know, do you guys like to do that, where you like will either listen to a book on audio or read it on Kindle Unlimited, and then you're like, I have to go buy the physical copy even though I've already read it because it needs a place on my bookshelf? Because same, that is 100% me. So anyway, I'm gonna get busy with my day, try to get stuff done, but I will update you guys when I've read more. I'm really excited to see where this book is gonna go. It has me hooked. If Colleen Hoover would do more thrillers, I think I would be more into her, but I'm into romance, but the books, the descriptions of her books just doesn't pull me into it, you know? So I think if she were to do more books like this or Verity, I would be really into it. What's funny is I actually hated Verity when I first read it. I think I gave it a pretty low score because I was just like, I was not used to reading really spicy scenes, and now I'm like, okay, that wasn't that bad. I really overreacted, and I plan on rereading that book later this year because the movie comes out in October, and I'm very excited to go see it. So I do think that her thriller books are really good. Like this one is really good. This is a book where I'm just like excited to pick it back up, and I have not had that feeling in a little while. Like I've enjoyed the books I've been reading, but I've not had that feeling of like, I cannot put this down. I don't care if I lose sleep. I'm just gonna keep reading. I've not had that feeling in a book in a little bit, honestly. So I'm excited that I feel like this kind of book would get you out of a book slump. I mean, I'm not really in a book slump right now, but I feel like this book would get you out of a book slump. We need to stop talking before I just keep yapping about books. I'm gonna get to work and I will check back with you guys when I'm reading words. I'm back. I'm trying to read in between, like when I have little pockets of time. You guys, this book is so good, but like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, like I'm scared. I'm scared for our main character. I'm just scared for myself. Like, what is happening? It's making me feel uncomfy. Anyway, it's really good though. I wish I had more time to sit here and read, but I have literally been working at this computer all day, also trying to clean up my house because we have company coming over tonight, which also means that I won't be able to read until like whenever they go home, whenever that is. And so if I don't finish this today, which I probably won't because I'm 48% of the way through, I will definitely be reading this all day tomorrow. James is gonna go fix my car, so I'm really just gonna have a little bit of work because I am answering phone calls for my parents' small business as I show you their cell phone, as if that makes a difference. Anyway, so I have been answering phone calls and doing my computer work that I have for them. So I will have a little bit of work to do tomorrow, but like the rest of the day, I'm gonna be reading this. This is insane. This is insane. Truly, truly insane. I want to scream at our main character and be like, you need to get out right now. You need to get out right now. This was not a misunderstanding. This was not a mistake. This is not a good situation. You need to get out. You guys, this book is insane. Insane. So last night I read a little bit and there was this big like twist that I did not see coming. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I must have looked really stressed. So I was actually reading it while we had company because they were playing Rock Band and I wasn't interested. And it was really just James and his friends. So I was just like, I'm just gonna read. So I was reading it on my phone on the Kindle app. And I must have looked like really stressed out because at one point James texts me and he's like, are you okay? And I was just like, no, I'm not. And I like told him what happened, like the twist in the book. And he was like laughing at me, but it was so crazy. And ever since then, it's just continued to get crazier. And I have, oh my goodness, I'm like 91% of the way through. I have like 30 pages left. My mind is completely blown because there was another twist that happened just in this past chapter that I read. What is happening? That's all I have to say. What the heck is happening? So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna read the rest of this book. I'm scared. I'm scared for our main character, but I'm also like, you made some really poor choices. Not that that makes what's going on okay, but I'm like, the stuff that's going on wouldn't have happened if you hadn't made such poor decisions, you know? All right, let's finish reading this book. Just finished that book. What a freaking wild ride. And the way that it ends makes me want another book because it didn't feel, I need more. I need like a sequel to this book. I'm really, really hoping she writes a sequel to this book. This book was so good. There was a lot of questionable stuff that happened in this book that I don't approve of, but it made it very like on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's gonna happen, like all the feelings. So I did enjoy it. Would not recommend doing stuff that the characters do in this book, but I did enjoy reading it, not knowing what was gonna happen, what to expect. It was a very wild ride, and the plot twist that just kept happening was insane. but it did end where I'm like, that doesn't feel wrapped up to me. It just feels like we've left this kind of not cliffhanger, but like kind of cliffhanger. And I'm just like, that was insane. What a wild ride. Definitely recommend. I gave it 5 stars. I had such a good time reading it because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I just felt everything you want to feel when you're reading a thriller. I felt very on the edge of my seat, very uncomfortable most of the time I was reading this book. And like, that's what you want in a thriller. You want to feel uncomfortable. You want to know that you don't know what's happening. This was really good. This was a really good thriller. I really enjoyed it. It was insane. I had planned on reading Best Offer Wins for this vlog, but I think I'm just gonna wrap it up here because it's over a week worth of footage. We read 3 books. We read Dear Debbie by Frieda McFadden. We read Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry. And then we read Woman Down by Colleen Hoover. And I just feel like I need to like maybe not jump into another thriller after this one and like do romance and have it like a little more lighthearted than what happened. But oh my gosh, my mind is blown by that book. It was very much like Verity, where you're like, the content of this book was just so icky, but you can't stop reading it because you're just like, what is happening? That was the same vibe. It was just like, these choices these characters are making are very questionable and I don't approve of them, but because they're making the questionable decisions, that's what's making the book like you don't know what's gonna happen on the edge of your seat. So I don't know, my mind is blown. I need to go process this. But thank you so much for joining along on this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be doing another one. I will probably do a like finish my January TBR with me. I think I have 5 books left on my TBR and we have like about 2 weeks left. So I think I can get it done and I think that'll be the next vlog that I start. So I'm gonna wrap this one up and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.